Check that out, huh? One of the coolest statues in this city. I was just driving by here the other day and I looked at that statue. I drive by here quite a bit. I looked at the statue and I thought, coolest statue in Jakarta. I mean, look at him. He's got his horse all reared up. He's got a lance coming down. He's in full battle mode. And I was wondering to myself, why do I like this statue so much? I mean, number one, it's just aesthetically pleasing, right? It's just a beautiful statue. The second reason, I think, is because he's just such a cool guy. This is Prince Diponegoro. This is the prince who decided to wage war against the Dutch. Out of all of the heroes of Indonesia, and Indonesia has quite a few heroes, he's my favorite. Maybe tied for first place. Him and Fatahillah, in my opinion, coolest guys, coolest heroes in the history of Indonesia. But this is Jakarta. We're in Jakarta right now. He's not from Jakarta. He's from Jogja. To tell you this story, we got to get to Jogja. Let's go. There's never a bajai when you need one. Look at that cool church. Can I cross? Maybe. I'm gonna go for it. Made it! Made it! Thank you. Hi. Morning. Morning. Somebody told me that when I'm in Jogja, I have to eat gudeg. Gudeg. The guy's just bringing it over now. Check this out. Gudeg. Awesome. So this is gudeg. Ini adalah gudeg?
Yes.
Ayam.
Chicken, spicy, krecek.
Oh, kulit atau?
Ya, kulit sapi.
Kulit sapi
Yes.
dan nasi. Cool. Thank you.
Okay.
I tried alone just to see what it tastes like, but that's the gudeg. Thank you. It's nice. It's like sweet, like lightly sweet. Let's try some with the rice. And then there's like a sauce. I'm not sure what that sauce is. Yummy. The skin is hot. Not crazy hot, but hot. It has a little bit of an afterburn, so it's it's setting in now, and it's setting my mouth on fire. The gudeg is good though. That's really tasty. The skin is good too, it's just a little too hot for me. It might be a little too sweet for me. It's tasty, but maybe a little too sweet. A lot of sugar in that. I don't know if there's sugar added, but it's very sweet. I can see why you'd like that. There's a lot of sugar and it's very sweet. It's a little too sweet for me for a meal, though. But it was tasty. Maybe as a snack it would be good. The Royal Palace. The Royal Palace of Jogja. This is where Diponegoro was born. He was born in 1785, dies in 1855. See if I can cross this street. But those years were really strange years in Indonesia. Basically, there was some weird history happening in Europe, and it had these ripple effects on Indonesia. Made it. And we're coming up on not quite Malioboro Street, but on the main walking street. Anyway, yeah, this guy Napoleon, he's waging war in Europe, and this is causing ripple effects in Indonesia. Basically, the sort of ownership, if you will, ends up passing from the Dutch to the French to the English under Sir Stamford Raffles, and then from the French it ends up going back to the Dutch. Look at all these people. The street is a busy street. Got some tourists. Right. Good. Hi. Hi. How are you? Actually, this one looks nice and shady. Let's sit down here. Hello.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Hi.
Sure.
My daughter wanna talk with you.
Hi. How are you? Where are you guys from? Dari mana kalian?
Hi, tuh.
Dari
I'm from Jayapura.
Jayapura. Where?
Jayapura in Papua.
Oh, you guys are from Papua.
No, she's
No,
from
I'm from
Makassar.
Makassar.
How come you guys speak English so well?
We learned it. We learned it when I was 3 years old. I learned it.
Wow, you speak really well. Is this your dad?
Yeah.
Is that your mom?
No, she's just my little brother's babysitter.
Oh, babysitter. Oh, what's going on here? Also a nice camera.
Fuji.
Wow. Semua kalian punya kamera
Yes.
sangat baik, ha? Saya.
Yes.
Wow, cantik, ha?
Mau foto?
Wow. No, thank you. Wow, cantik. Cool. All right.
Alright.
See you. Bye. Bye. All right, very cool. Look at that. With his kris in his back. Everything. Awesome, huh? Oh, look, everyone. Everyone here is in uniform. What's going on? How cool. How awesome. Hi. All right, so yeah, fast forward a few years. The Dutch are back in power. Taxes are rising. The Dutch have implemented this system, or basically they're insisting that lands of the Sultanate get rented out to basically to other foreigners. And this is starting to cause a little bit of discontent down here in Jogja. Right? But not only that, there's all these other kind of things happening in the background. You've got an epidemic breaking out. You've got a volcano exploding. You've got crop failures. And everybody seems to be taking these as sort of further signs. Oh yeah, and to top it all off, the Dutch begin construction of a railroad on top of the Sultanate's ancestral cemetery, adding salt to the wound. So incidentally, and kind of on a more like mystical side, there's these other sort of rumors that start spreading. One is that the ghost of Sultan Agung, who is also from here, Yogyakarta, his ghost appeared to somebody. Yeah, and the second one is this goddess that lives in the ocean just south of the island of Java, Nyi Roro Kidul. Apparently she appeared to and spoke to Diponegoro, thereby sort of furthering this idea of maybe revolution coming. And people are taking all these things as sort of signs. And so begins the Java War. And troops start marching. Check that out. Diponegoro. Right? So with all of this stuff going on, all these threats, all these events happening, the Dutch see this and they see a potential threat. So the Dutch come down, they burn down his house, and they're like, basically they're just gonna arrest Diponegoro. But he's already fled. He flees and he goes to a place called Goa Selarong. Look at that. Goa Selarong. Nice statue of Diponegoro. So yeah, he's already fled Jogja and he's come here. This place is pretty nice looking. Check this out. More sheep, goats maybe. Pretty cool. So he's got a nice little fan business going.
Punya urung di tutu, belum punya tutu, masih kuliah.
Oh, okay. Mereka masih di sekolah.
Iya.
Oh, okay.
Kuliah UGM.
Okay.
UGM. Sak semester 15 juta. Sak semester bayar 15 juta.
Oh.
Sak semester bayar 15 juta.
Cool. All right, I suppose it's up here. Right? Always uphill. I'm always going uphill. Oh, that's pretty though. Check that out. Anyway, before Diponegoro fled to the cave, he had lifted taxes on his people back in Jogja, which gave them some extra money. Some extra money that they could use towards like weapons or preparing for war. Wow, cool. The history of Selarong. Check out that tree. Look, there's root systems everywhere. Gua Kakung. Check that out. I wonder what this was. I wonder who lived in here. Oh, look at these engravings on the wall. Actually, look at that. Same on that side. Check that out. Big cave or big cliff, and then the cave right there. Very cool.
Hello, Miss.
Hi.
Hi. Nice
Apa
to meet
kabar?
you. Baik.
Good.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Yeah.
Yes.
Senang bertemu.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Kalian dari Jogja?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Come here is healing.
Huh?
Come here healing.
Healing?
Yeah, come here. Where you from?
America.
America.
Yeah.
Yes. Am I stay Texas, Holland?
Oh,
Oklahoma?
saya dari Utah.
Utah.
Yeah.
Utah Jazz ya.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know.
Nice. Yeah, but apa?
Ah, okay.
Spiritual. This.
Berdoa.
Yeah. So it's your God.
Yeah, so according to that guy, that little cave there is for praying, for prayer, not for living. Anyway. All right, see you guys.
Yes.
See you.
See you again.
See you again.
Mr. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice talking to you.
Yes.
Apa kabar?
Baik,
Good. Kalian dari Jogja?
dari
Kendal,
Kendal.
Kendal Pelari,
Kendal.
Batam,
Endal.
Iya.
Endal. Dekat sini?
Jauh.
Jauh.
Iya.
luar
Tahu
kota.
tahu Semarang.
Semarang saya tahu. Ya.
Masih ke sana. Masih
ke barat?
barat terus, masih jauh.
Oh, saya tidak kerja, jadi saya
Main terus, dulan-dulan.
Healing terus.
saya belajar sejarah, dan jika saya punya sedikit waktu, saya suka pergi lihat apa yang saya membaca, seperti itu.
Tapi wilayah Jawa khusus. Apa?
Oh no, ya, dari Sumatera ke Flores, Manado ke sini, ya,
Muter ya.
ya. Nuwun. All right, Goa Putri, the Princess Cave. Look at that. Cool, huh? You think the princess lived in here? Is that why it was called Goa Putri? Maybe, huh? And then there's something over here too. Look at this. We're really in the jungle. Ow. Oh, no, it just ends. Maybe before it went somewhere. Looks like you could, if you were brave enough, you could go down there and continue up there. Maybe before it went there. Looks like there's something over there. Looks like, yeah, look, there's a fallen piece of concrete down there. Right there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but looks like there was a structure here before, but it's since collapsed. And look, there's a piece of steel right next to my foot. And then a piece of reinforced concrete right here. So maybe something before went over there, but there's nothing here now. But this, anyway, this is where he hung out. This is where Diponegoro hung out. This is where he moved his headquarters to after the Dutch basically turned this into a war. After the war started, the Diponegoro War or the Java War, whatever name you want to use for it, it's been called both. After the Dutch came down here, burnt down his house, this is where he came to. And this was like a full-on war for the Dutch, right? This was not just like some of the other campaigns that the Dutch were involved in Indonesia. I mean, they had full-on wars as well, but this was a full-on war employing both traditional warfare and guerrilla warfare in Java. Yeah, in fact, the Dutch even put a bounty on Diponegoro's head, right? Wanted dead or alive. You could bring him in dead or alive, you would collect a bounty. So they weren't messing about. The Dutch were not messing about. They wanted this war over with. And the war was going really well for Diponegoro. It was going so well that the Dutch had to reevaluate what they were doing, and they called in a guy named General de Kock. Remember when we were up in Bukit Tinggi in Sumatra, we went up to that fort that's named after him? That's the guy they called in to fight Diponegoro. And it was General de Kock that started changing the tide of the war. So the war started shifting over to the favor of the Dutch, or maybe stalemated. Anyway, as soon as General de Kock became involved, the tide of the war, the tide that was carrying Diponegoro forward, started to change. All right, there's a top view of all the stairs we got to go down. Let's hope I don't fall. Hello.
Yeah.
So General de Kock sends an invitation to some talks, lowers the white flag, you know, this is truce, this is a parley, you're safe here, come up to Magelang and let's talk and see if we can negotiate an end to this war. So that's what he does. Basically at the beginning of Ramadan in 1830, he heads up to Magelang to the house of General de Kock. Hi. Hello. Hi. Check that out. You got deer just hanging out. And then check these out, these old cannons. Look at that, 2 old cannons. This is all concrete here, but that's old iron. Look at that. Check this out too. Yoni. I was encouraged to come take a look at this. This gazebo was here. The cement doesn't look original. So the tide of the war is changing a little bit. The Dutch invite Diponegoro up to Magelang for talks. So he shows up. There's a white flag raising, hey, this is a parley. You know, don't worry, this is just, we just want to have some talks to see if there's any way we can come to some sort of agreement to put an end to this war. So he comes up, he hangs out right here in that house. That's General de Kock's house. And this is where Diponegoro stayed during those like peace talks. So he's hanging out in there pretty much the entire month of Ramadan. And then on the 28th of March, 1830, General de Kock finally shows up in person, right? And he says, and they meet in that room right there. We're gonna go take a look at it in a second. But he shows up finally and he says, hey, I know we had the white flag and everything, and we know this is like peace parley, but yeah, you're under arrest basically. You're not gonna be able to leave here. You know, you can fight, but we know you got all your friends, your high-ranking officers, your family members are outside. We will kill them all unless you go along with us on this arrest. So Diponegoro finishes his tea and walks out of that room right there, as an arrested man. And if you remember that painting from Raden Saleh, this is where he was.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat datang di Museum Makassar. Terima kasih atas kunjungannya ke Museum Diponegoro. Inilah disebut petilasan sejarah Museum Diponegoro. Ini dulu alami, jadi nggak seperti ini. Ini sudah renovasi.
Oke, ya.
Dulu alami, meriam itu sudah tambahan semuanya. Tahun 2000. Ini ada patung sapi, patung singa, Liga Yoni, gazebo, itu zaman Belanda.
Oke.
Ya. Selamat datang Mr. Eric yang dari Amerika. Terima kasih sekali sudah datang di lokasi tempat sejarah Pangeran Diponegoro. Pangeran Diponegoro adalah putra raja ketiga dari Yogyakarta. Dia dilahirkan di Keraton Yogyakarta. Tidak panjang lebar, maka terus ditangkap, langsung dibawa ke pengasingan. Yaitu dari sini menuju alun-alun Magelang, Ungaran, Semarang, Jakarta, sampai perjalanan luar Jawa.
Okay guys, here's the way I understand it. So after he was arrested, so Diponegoro is sitting right there in that chair. General de Kock is sitting there. They're sitting around a table with tea on it, and they're drinking tea literally from these very cups right here. These cups, these are the cups, the actual cups that Diponegoro was drinking from on this table. And he's sitting there and he's thinking to himself, what do I do? Do I get, he has a knife on him, so is he like, do I get up and kill General de Kock? But he knew the threat from the people, because he had all his family and a lot of his leaders were here. So he's like, what do I do? He ended up, as he wrote, finishing his cup of tea. He finished his cup of tea and he got up from that chair right there and he walked outside, just like in this photo right here. Or not photo, this painting right here. That is the Raden Saleh painting. There's Diponegoro being arrested. Yeah, and that would be General de Kock?
untuk berunding di sini.
Yeah, that's another good point. So when he was sitting there, this actual robe right here was the robe that he was wearing. That you can see, it looks similar to this robe here, and this is like a replica of that. But that, while he was sitting there drinking his tea, that is the robe he was wearing. How incredible, right? So yeah, as Sonroyo was explaining, he would have come out of there. This place has been renovated a bit, but from that painting, he would have walked out of here, right, knowing that he was being arrested.
Terima kasih Mr. Eric yang dari Amerika sudah berkunjung di sini. Semoga dapat berkah, dapat kesusahan, diberi panjang umur yang berkah, dan selalu panjang umur anak-anak jadi anak yang selalu sukses. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, Pak.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih, amin. Man, the square looks empty today. It is a Tuesday afternoon, I guess. But check it out, there's hardly anybody here. You come here on a Saturday, that place will be full. This is a little bit more reminiscent of what it was like back during COVID. Almost nobody. The only people that would be here is down here on that corner. Over there, there'd be tons of vendors, but I think they've moved them along as well too. But anyway, yeah, this was the old State House. Been here since 1600. It's been expanded a lot since 1600. But this was basically the headquarters of the VOC. And in 1830, after Diponegoro was arrested down there in Jogja, and they were wondering, what do we do with this guy? They brought him to this building right here. And he stayed locked up in there. He stayed locked up in there until they shipped him off to Ambon, an island that I'm just not going to be able to make it to. I really want to. There's another great story in the region there that I want to tell, but it's just going to be too hard for me to get there. Plus, you've already seen my previous video that I'm leaving, so I also just don't have the time. But anyway, he came from Jogja to this building. From this building, he went up to Ambon, and then from Ambon, he went to Makassar. There was a fort there down in the southwest corner of the island, and that's where we're going to go to next. Let's go check that out. All right, guys, we made it to Makassar, but we had some flight problems. Hi guys, apa kabar? Good. We had some flight problems. So like we already knew we were gonna have a very short amount of time, and now we literally have like, I mean, the sun is setting and this is like all the time we have. Anyway, look where we are. We're at Fort Rotterdam. So what about this fort? Hey, how are you?
My name is
Hey, Eric. Kalian nama
Gue dari Goa.
apa?
Gue dari Goa. Lo dari mana?
Oh, saya dari Amerika.
Oh,
Ya.
yes.
Kalian dari sini?
Go.
Yeah. Hey.
Tos dulu, tos.
Nice. Thank you. I love it. Yeah, cool. Your name?
Untung.
Untung. Nice to meet you. You? Tifang. Nice to meet you. I'm Eric.
California.
He's from California. Nice. Good to meet you guys.
Yes.
Awesome. So yeah, Fort Rotterdam, built in the 1600s. Hi guys. Hi again. Built in the 1600s, but this was the last jail that Prince Diponegoro was jailed in. So yeah, he spent the last years of his life in there. Hey, how are you?
Fine.
Good.
You come from?
America.
Yeah. From Jeneponto.
Where?
Jeneponto.
Janepunto.
Yes.
That's your name?
Yes.
Saya Eric.
Komar.
Komar,
Yes,
Komar.
okay.
I like your shirt.
Yes.
Kamu tahu apa
Yes.
artinya
yes,
itu?
yes.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Hi guys. Hey, nice to meet you.
Yes,
Salam
okay.
kenal.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet
Okay.
you. Yeah, this was his last prison. He stayed here. He actually was kind of a celebrity prisoner. You know, you can't be somebody as famous as Diponegoro and not have some sort of privileges, right? He lived with his family, he lived with his children, a bunch of his close friends, soldiers that fought with him, lived in here along with him. He was kind of a celebrity prisoner. Even a Dutch prince, Prince Henry, came and visited him while he was imprisoned here. We didn't make it by the time it closed, so it is closed. Hi, mister. But maybe saya bisa. Awesome. Boleh. Boleh. Thank you, huh? Terima kasih, yeah?
Makasih.
Thank you. But that's it. He was in prison here, lived here. Menteng, Rotterdam, lived here with his family, with his friends. And then, you know, time just went by. He aged, he grew old, and at the age of 69, he passed away. Look at that door. Ooh, super cool. Thank you so much. Saya tahu yang ini adalah tutup. Jadi terima kasih untuk saya bisa masuk.
Makasih.
Yeah, terima kasih, mister. Okay. See you. Look at that. Giant doorway. Strong walls. Check that out, huh? Awesome. Hello. All right, the last thing we need to show you is straight ahead. Let's show you where he was laid to rest. Hey, my buddies are coming back. Let's just wonder. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here you hold on.
Yup. No internet.
No internet. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Ini.
I'm subscribed.
Thank you.
My friend.
Thank you, sir.
Let's just wonder.
Yeah.
Let's just wonder.
Cool, huh? Look, Padang. Padang.
You, my friend, you upload. You the video. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Ini film ini adalah tentang sejarah Indonesia.
Yes. Okay.
Ya, sejarah Indonesia.
Nganu itu ya.
Ya, cerita ini adalah tentang Diponegoro.
Yes.
Heritage
Ya,
of Diponegoro.
ya, history, ya, sejarah.
You like balo?
Balo?
Balo.
Apa?
Tradisional, alkohol.
Oh no, no.
Tradisional. Good. Balo.
Terima kasih.
Balo.
Palau.
Balo, iya.
Balo.
Jadi foto.
Palau di sini, arak di
Yes, arak.
Bali,
Ya.
dua di Padang.
Nah,
Ya.
Nganu mau ganti ya.
Tapi tidak, bukan. Thank you.
traditional food.
Ya,
Coto.
di sini
So,
Coto apa ya?
Coto.
Coto?
Coto, palu basah.
Ya,
Itu.
Coto.
Ah.
Thanks again, huh?
Thank you.
Much appreciated. All right, see you guys.
Bye-bye.
I think he wants us to go.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
See you guys.
See you.
Hi.
Please. Yeah. Please.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
Apa kabar?
English.
Apa kabar?
Yeah. Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Hai, apa kabar? Good.
Good. Please.
Diponegoro.
Diponegoro. Amsterdam. Hah?
Saya?
Iya.
No, Amerika.
Oh, Amerika.
Iya.
Iya. Please, enggak apa-apa.
Oh, thank you.
Duduk. Enggak apa-apa. Iya.
Ya, dia di sana,
Iya,
huh?
beliau.
Wow, very cool.
Di sebelah permaisuri.
Yeah.
Beliau pangeran, di sebelahnya permaisuri.
Istrinya
Istri. Bisa bahasa Indonesia?
sedikit.
Oh,
Hanya
ya.
sedikit.
Bahasa Indonesia aja. Huh?
Ya.
Jadi beliau istri.
Dan anak-anak
anak-anak di belakang, di
Di
depan.
balik, ya di depan, ya.
Family.
Ya, ketika dia di penjara,
Iya.
dia tinggal bersama dengan istri, anak, dan
Pengikut laskar.
beberapa teman, no?
Iya.
Ya,
Itu prajurit.
prajurit, soldiers, ya,
Soldiers.
ya, prajurit,
No?
ya.
Jadi beliau, istri, children, family, soldiers, prajurit.
Oke, cool,
Iya.
very cool, menarik, no?
Menarik.
Ya.
For Rotterdam. Sudah dari
Tidak bisa datang ke Sulawesi dan tidak lihat makam Diponegoro, ha?
biasa.
Ya,
Padahal Amerika dengan Pangeran Diponegoro tidak ada memori,
ya,
tidak ada historinya. Seandainya Amsterdam, nah itu
ya mereka,
ada memori.
mereka, ya.
Ada histori. Iya.
Okay,
Primus. Iya.
so nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. See you guys.
Iya, good.
Thank you.
Selalu.
All right, let's go check this out. Yeah, so this was his final resting place. This was where he was laid to rest, right there, next to his wife, his children, and his friends, soldiers that fought alongside him. Looks like there's a big sign coming in. Wonder if I need to get out of the way. Hi. But yeah, that was it. And this thus ended probably one of the most iconic stories in Indonesian history. I mean, I don't think there's anyone more famous. Look at this. Hi guys.
Hi.
Apa kabar?
Baik.
Good, good. I think when you think of heroes of Indonesia, it's either this guy Diponegoro or Fatahillah. I think those are probably the two most famous heroes in Indonesia. And this is where he was laid to rest.